Alrighty, people, here we go. Alright. People think, we're going to talk about the number 4 on the revolution. People think it may look like this, but it may not look like this. Some crazy guy with a gun, that may not start it. I'm going to go over a little bit on how the revolution, I think, is going to start. Get rid of this junk. My props. That's for all the liberals out there that got paranoid, thought it was a real gun. That was a fake gun, people. It was just it's a prop. So relax. Get your pink panties in a knot and start panicking. So let's talk about this, how this revolution. We talked about how the first one started, the country, a long period of time that people got fed up and fed up and fed up. Finally they said enough's enough. Well, the differences between then and now is, for one, back then, it wasn't a local government that had control over them. It was a distant government. It was a distant king. They had to send an occupying force in order to fight off the rebellion. That won't be the case if there's another revolution. If there's another revolution, the occupying force is here. It's already been here. It's growing every day. It's out of control. It's seizing power. It wants to get the guns, and it wants to disarm the people to prevent a revolution. Now, you can believe government that they want the guns to protect you and keep you safe. But I'm telling you, government loves a disarmed servants or body of people that they can rule over. They don't want unequal power. They don't want to be held in check. They don't want somebody to be able to push back and say, you can't do that. You're not the only one with guns. You're not the only one with power. We, the people, still have the power. I mean, we the people are becoming a damn slogan. It really means nothing. I don't know what the hell we the people means. We don't control our government. Our government doesn't work for us. We can't control our taxes. We can't control our spending. We can't control our borders. We can't control the government shipping in unvetted, uncleared Muslims from countries that hate us, that swear to blow us up, terrorist activities are up. All that is caused by the government, and they point to sheep to, it's the guns that's the problem, and if we get the guns, then you won't have to worry about us having open borders, spending trillions of dollars in debt, sending our military to occupy 100 different countries. You won't have to worry about that. Stupid people, just listen to us. If you give us your guns, we'll stop all the other stuff we're doing, and you'll be safe, and we'll all live happily ever after. Don't be a damn fool. So how do I think the next revolution is going to happen? Oh shit, I forgot to start this timer. Hopefully I wasn't talking too long. I got to start this timer or I'll end up going over, posting on the channel, and I'll have all kind of damn complaints. Alright, so we'll start this at 12 minutes, and hopefully I won't get in trouble for posting on the channel. So, here's how I think, here's some things that could start the next revolution. I think it's already started. I think people are waking up. Just like our first revolution, it took years and years of pushback, small wins, pushback, small wins, more taxes, small wins, until finally it, volcano, the pressure built up and it went off. So the revolution has already started, and the government knows it. And how do you know the government knows it? Because they feel the people slipping through their grip, and they're trying everything they can to prepare when the people say, we've had enough, it's over. And how they do that? They control the media, they control information, they suppress whistleblowers, they suppress free press, they search reporters' cell phones to find out who their sources are. They use national security in great words and acts like the Patriot Act to pass laws to seize more power to control the people. That's how you know the government knows the revolution has already started. So, but what's going to be the big trigger? What can really kind of put this in fast forward? What can be the Boston Tea Party or the massacre? What can start off this revolution to where people start uniting? We have the Minuteman, 3%ers, whatever. What's going to start that? Well, it depends. So some of the things I think that can start it is obviously the government wants race relations to break down. Remember, the more the people focus on other problems, the government is safe because we won't focus focus on the government as the problem. Almost all problems in society can be traced back to government. Reagan said it, people said it before him. Government is never the answer, it's always the problem and the cause. So race relations is one thing that could do it. You know, we get all these Black Lives Matter, we get the white people, we get them turning against each other. Next thing you know, black people are killing white cops and they're screaming for white people, and white people get fed up and then they start shooting black people, and then the federal government comes in with their liberal and say, see, we told you these white people are racist. Look at them, they're killing black people. Let's forget about all the stopping traffic and disrupting people that have jobs and work and killing police officers and murdering and ambushing. Let's forget all that. But as soon as a white person pushes back against black people, it's going to be, oh, the government has to come in because that's a civil rights issue and we have to come in and protect the poor minority that did nothing wrong. Get ready, it's coming. So another thing that's going to kind of kick it off is rigged elections. People are getting fed up. Every election we hear more and more voter fraud. Illegals voting. Dead people voting. Dead people registering 10 times. People registering at 10 different polling places. And the liberal left has buses paid for by Soros and their other liberal left idiots, probably Obama's donating to them, to ship voters to different precincts so they can vote multiple times. Another way to rig an election is maybe we'll just dump a bunch of illegals across the border and let them flood the country because we know they'll vote liberal, and we can rig the election that way because we'll have all the... Maybe we'll bring in all these Muslims that hate gun rights and freedoms, and we'll support government and fall into this liberal against conservative, right against left, and we'll get them to vote left. Maybe we'll rig an election that way. Maybe if we get enough people that we flood the voting masses with so much debris that the people who have jobs and are working and care about the country will just say, you know what, the elections are rigged, we won't vote. Maybe that's how we'll rig an election. That could start the revolution if people get fed up with that. Police state. Nah, we ain't seen that. That probably won't happen. This is America. We got freedom. We the people. We control the government. We'll never have a police state. Are you freaking kidding me? Come on, people. Taxes. Taxes, I mean, they've already taxed the shit out of us. They're taxing everything. I mean, they tax the roads, the gas, your car registration, and every time they have a tax, they say, well, it's to pay for the roads and enforcement of the roads and the police to keep you safe, and we got to have infrastructure on the roads. And now every time you turn around, the roads are trash. And what are they doing? We got to come up with more taxes. We'll tax gas more. We'll raise the registration on the vehicle. Maybe we'll create this temporary tax here. I know. Let's tax people for every mile they drive instead of just the other taxes. Really? People are like, they won't tax you for the miles. They've already got states that are passing laws to tax you per mile. Because taxing your gas, your car when you buy it, paying for your license when you take your license to drive, paying for your registration, that's not enough. Rick, you don't understand. We need tax. I always hear this from liberals. When I was in California, the liberals are always like, well, we need taxes. You got to pay for things. You want to have schools, don't you? You want to have the police and the fire, don't you? No, you know what? I don't want to have that shit. I want it locally controlled where we can control what they get, how they get, and who they report to. I don't want them reporting to some entity in freaking the federal government that is nobody and everybody and somebody. Everybody talking about it's the government. It's the government. Who's the government? The government is people. That's who they are. So, you know, taxes is one thing. And it's going to keep coming, and people are finally going to get fed up, and it's going to take some 3% tax on a tea. And you got idiots and liberals now that are being taught in schools, yeah, you white crazy rebel conspiracy nuts went crazy just because they taxed you 3%. That was paying for the redcoats to come and protect you. It was keeping you safe, and you damn freedom wanters turned over a bunch of tea and started all this revolution. They created this damn country that did all this good and had all this freedom and was a spotlight of America or the whole country on how freedom can ring. Yeah, you crazy freedom people. You're always a pain in the ass getting in the way of government. Just let government run your life and you'll be fine. Freaking idiots. Rules, laws, regulations, and other things are just going to be out of control. And of course, those rules, laws, and regulations will only apply to the peasants and servants and peons, and it will not apply to the ruling class, Congress. Congress is always passing laws that don't apply to them. Obamacare. It's so great for you idiots at the bottom, but Congress and all their underlings got exempt from Obamacare. Well, Rick, that's just because you're an idiot. That's what it's because. Public trust will be downgraded. People will finally say enough is enough. Public confidence will fall. Gee, we haven't seen any of that. 20 trillion in debt. People will turn on the light and say, you know what, we just can't keep spending money we don't have and taxing the shit out of people every time you turn around and taking away from the hard-working people and having them give 50, 60, 70% of their income when they're out there working so we can give free shit to the Muslims that are coming in that are refugees, to the illegals, to the poor minorities that can't get a job because the white man is so bad. Let's just keep raising taxes on all that. It's just freaking ridiculous. And then you'll have endless wars. We haven't seen that. That could trigger it. I mean, Obama's been poking Putin for I don't know how long, trying to start a war and try to get some over there. He's halfway. He doesn't support our people that have stood by us, but he supports the people who are against us. And then he's spending all this money, and we got people fighting over sand. You know, some people say it's over oil or sand, whatever it is. We ain't got no damn business. We ought to be in our own damn country, protecting our own borders, having people spend our money here, having our military home to where we can use them here instead of getting blown up for some other bullshit that nobody knows about. But you know what? We the people run the government. They work for us. Keep singing a lie. Growing government, of course, when the revolutions, this growth of government, and the problem with growing government is the more government grows, the more people you have doing, supporting the government. Because people have self-interest involved. And remember, our founders, they were all pretty wealthy and good to do. They had no problems. They didn't do this for self-interest. They didn't start this country so they could get rich. They started the country because they wanted a better place for their children. They wanted a light and a freedom, and they wanted things to be better. It wasn't for self-gain like our politicians now. You shouldn't be able to get rich. You shouldn't go into politics and making $40,000 a year, and 5 years later, you're a millionaire making millions a year. That's a problem. We call that a clue. That's corruption. That's no different than a mafia. But Rick, we the people, the government works for us. Come on now, sing that liberal chant. Yay, government. They'll protect us and give us free stuff. Yay, government. Freaking idiots. Loss of freedoms, well, we haven't seen that. That only happens every day. Every rule and regulation and tax is a loss of freedoms. Every time the government says we're doing something for your benefit, they always take something for what they say they're doing. And that taking takes away freedoms. And then, and of course, the government's going to feel the heat. And the government does feel the heat. And they're feeling it bad. And you know how they feel the heat? Because they're trying to grab more power. They're trying to create blame. They're trying to point you at bad Russia, bad this, bad white people, black people, white people. You guys are the problem. It's not government. Don't look here. The debt. Oh, that's because we don't have enough taxes and we can't pay our bills. That's the problem. Not us overspending. It's you dumb taxpayers don't give us enough money to pay our bills. Deflection, redirection. Government's great at it. Okay? So what will cause it? What will be the big cause? Will it be a money crash? That could do it. If the financial situation hits in a depression, the wind's picking up. Hopefully it's not doing it. I put the camera back here by the barn so it block the wind, but it's making some wind. So if the money crashes and people see the banks shut down and your money now won't buy nothing, and I see it every time I go to the grocery store. Shit, man, I go to the grocery store, I get 2 bags of groceries, and it's like 45, 50 bucks. I'm like, are you freaking shitting me? I'm carrying 2 plastic bags home and I just spent 45, 50 bucks? I mean, it's just crazy. People are like, oh, there's no inflation. Economy's growing because the liberals are saying we're so great. Look, the economy's growing. Things are good. You know, if I got an EDT card from the freaking government and I didn't care about the money and I was just using someone else's money, I wouldn't care about inflation either. But every time inflation goes up, what you're working for goes down. Inflation is a tax. It's another tax by the government. They tax and tax and take, and then they raise the prices of goods because they're taxing the goods, and they're taxing the way the goods are manufactured, and they're taxing it on the back door and exporting and transporting it. They tax everything so the price of your goods go up. That's a tax. As the prices go up, you make less money. You're paying more for less, and the government's taking more. There has to be an end game. And the government knows that people are kind of like, you know, maybe the government's the problem. Shit, I'm already at 15 minutes. I didn't get through 2 pages. I got 6 pages. All right, we'll do another one. Sorry. So I guess this one will be 4, and I'll make Revolution 5 right after this.